just wanted to show everybody my workflow for creating a blog. You could also use this workflow just for brainstorming ideas to capture in an HTML-centric way or a rich text format way. Starts off with MindNode, which according to my mapping is supposed to be one of the most effective ways to brainstorm your ideas. This in just a regular outline. This technique I like a lot because one, the app is free, and two, it's kind of how the way my brain works. Start with an idea. I was just listening to a free university course. I'll have that link below, called Coursera, and made me think about the way that I tell stories using photography and how that branches out to what I had been recently hearing from somebody about public speaking and just kind of rounding out that topic. I wanted to blog about it. So I started off with a mind note and started it right here, added a node to it, and added a node to that, added a node to that, added a node to that. Nothing but spectacular here. The magic comes when you turn this into a rich text format, starting with a plain text format. First, I export it as text, plain text. I also wanted to share my workflow for this because I think it's fairly efficient. It goes under Dropbox, under blogging, and all these are plain text documents. I can open them up on my iPad using an app called plaintext. Link will be in the show notes. So now in my Dropbox folder on my hard drive, I have a document called Storytelling 2, which if I open up that document, select all, and then right click, I have a service called Indents to Markdown. And every time there was an indent that was saved from the MindNote export, it turns that into a different Markdown language style that makes this document easy to export into HTML or to rich text format, and saving a tremendous amount of time. So I'm going to save that, and then I'm going to drag that Storytelling 2 document onto an application that costs $10. It's called Marked, and this is where the magic happens. So you can see what that document would look like if I copied and pasted it and put it into a blog or a website, or I just had it be a rich text format right now. That's what it would look like. The beautiful thing is I can open that up using an application which I will link in the notes. I put it into one side, and as you can see, Marked is on the other side. Makes it really good workflow. Also using Apple's different desktops. I have that saved as desktop 1. So I can just hit desktop 1 and it takes me to both of those side by side. Makes it really easy to write. Okay, so something I'll do every time when I start off, I'll go to my Dropbox folder and I'll find my default blogging document. So I can get some things I've pre-created that help me out here. And I drop those right here. I'll cut these off and put these right at the bottom. And I just hit Command S and it saves it. You can see what that looks like over here. So above this line is just notes that I have for myself in this plain text document, and below the line is what the blog would look like. At the end has these two items here. That one would be if someone wanted to write an email to me, they could just click that button and it'd have a subject, and then This other one is just if they want to send an email to me. So now, okay, and I just want to show you a couple quick editing things. One is the title is not going to go right here, so I'm going to get rid of that. Title goes up here because it's going to go in a different spot on the blog. And I would create a title that would look good in Google searches. And I have, it's not 58, I thought it was 58, it's 60 characters to do that title. And then for the first 130 characters shows up in the Google search. So I would, when I'm done, I'll look at, see what that looks like, make sure that makes sense in Google search. The slug is the URL, how the URL will show. So something like how to tell a story for blogging for any art. And then the tags that I would use, save these ahead of time, art, storytelling, so I can copy and paste those in. The tweet that I would use, I'd type that out ahead of time. Facebook post I would use, I'd type that out. Google Plus post I would use. And this is just something I wrote because I shared this with somebody and I wanted to explain what these little dots were. That's where it starts. Okay, so I just save that and all those changes show up on Marked. I always have all my main headers be header 1, which is £1 symbol. You can see how that shows right there. And then this is text I want to have right there. So I'll break this down and have this be header 3, 1, 2, 3. You can see what it's doing. It's making it easier than copying the thing, going up to a Word document drop down or inside WordPress and changing the header. It's much, much faster to do it this way. I can change my headers. I can create bulleted lists, break up bulleted lists in just a much more efficient way than any other technique that there is. The beauty of all this is that I can save this document. It's still only a plain text, even though it's creating a rich text format document. It's creating an HTML friendly document, and I can open up my iPad while I'm driving around and completely have full modifying effects. I won't see the final effect. I just kind of have to visualize it while I'm walking around. Another thing that's easier than using the WordPress or anything else is if I want to add a link. I often write about when and how to use Instagram effects in photography, so I wrote a blog about that, and I can add that blog post in here using text expander, a text expander snippet. So there it is, it pops in, and then I want it to say when and how. I put that in quotes in the parentheses, hit save, and it shows up here as it would look on the website. Hold the cursor over it and you can see what it would look like. It says when and how, and then it has the link. So if someone clicked on that, they would see that that's about when and how you would use Instagram if you wanted to click on another blog post. So I hope this helped you to improve your workflow for creating HTML documents, rich text format documents. The final product would be done by copying this, just selecting it all, hitting Command-C, opening up WordPress, and pasting it right into a new post. And then the title that I would use, I just copy that in. The slug, which is the URL that I want, I copy and paste that in. All the tags, I copy and paste it in. And then I put this tweet into a thing called buffer, and it'll send that tweet off at a set interval. And then I copy and paste this into Facebook, which WordPress will do that for me. And then I copy and paste this into Google and share it to the communities with the link that I create at the end. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks a lot.